Hello everyone, I'm Lisa. I'm here to again show you a simple and easy craft that you can make from home. Today we're going to be making this sliced wood pumpkin. That's kind of hard to say. I had to think about what I was going to say there. Really cute, really easy to do. Let me give you the supply list and then we'll get to actually making one of these today. The supplies that you're going to need are a wood slab. Now, I purchased these from Amazon. I bought a bulk of like 24 of these. I'm not sure what they cost, but I used them at a craft class here at the library. And so I had several of them left over. You can easily use a slice of wood from a tree that your neighbor has that's coming down, or that someone's taking down, or they're working on the limbs and sawing some of the limbs off of it. It does not have to be such a smooth surface. We know that chainsaws or hand saws are going to make a serrated edge in there, and that's perfectly fine. You can leave that as is. You can also sand it. So you're going to need a wooden slab. You will also need some orange paint, or the paint of your color, but since we are making pumpkins, it probably should be a pumpkin orange or something very similar. You're going to need a stick for the stem of the pumpkin as well, and then any types of embellishments that you want. We have ribbon, there's a little bit of greenery on here, and I'll show you how to get that all together and put together here in just a few moments. And that is actually your supply list. You'll need your hot glue gun today for this as well. Now, I do want to point out before we get started, these are meant to be hung. Let me rephrase that. These slabs are meant to be hung because at the very top of it, you might be able to see that there's a little hole that you could put your twine through in order to hang this as an actual ornament. So if you do not like that hole, find some way to putty in that hole. It could be that you have wood putty at home. It could be that you could fill that with glue, and that glue would harden over a day or two, and then you could paint over it. So if that bothers you, there are ways that you could fill that. It didn't bother me at all. Okay. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna need some orange. I'll leave that up front there for you to see. We're gonna need some orange paint. We'll need just a little bit because this is not really a lot of painting. I'm gonna be using a foam brush. Also want to comment that you can easily stain this. I like that white area around it, or the lighter wood around it, but if you wanted to stain it so you had a darker wood, that would be perfect as well. The good thing about this is it has little rings or bands around it, and so I was able to just follow, for the most part, that outer band, the one that's closest to the bark. When you get close to the edge there, you might need to use a different type of paintbrush. I love the holiday season, and we will be doing more holiday crafts. As a matter of fact, I believe we're going to be offering some seasonal crafts, just 4 seasonal crafts. Okay, now I'm going to take my other paintbrush. This one's just, I think I'll use this one. This, for some reason, is my favorite brush. I don't know why, but this will allow me to get a little neater finish in the circle. Fall and winter, obviously Christmas time, are perfect times to try your hand at crafting. There's so many that you can do. I'm just trying to round that off a little bit, clean up my mess. There's a little bit of stray paint. going to thin it out because right here on the edges it's a little thick. And there you go. There's your center. Now, we need to obviously let this dry. I'm going to speed up that process just a little bit with the hair dryer. You could put more than one coat, but I think it's fun to see the circles, the actual rings of the wood. The only reason I'm drying this now is so that I can continue to work on it without getting paint all over me. Now I need my stem on the back. This one's very fat. You'll notice this one is very thin. So we're going to see how that looks on the back of there. And I think that's still going to look pretty good. Actually, I may use the longer one. I think I need the longer, bigger stick. And we're just going to glue it all across the back here. These are meant to stand up. There's her. And then from there, it really depends on what you want. I did on the back of mine, which is very messy, so don't judge. I did on the back, because I kept adding layers, wondering what would look good. But I did do a teardrop tie with this twine, and that would give me a place for it to hang as well. And it will hang straight once it's against a flat surface. So if I was gonna hang this, obviously, then I would want to put something to hang it from on the back, like twine, okay? If I wanted to add some greenery, I could. It does not have to be pumpkin stem. It could definitely be the berries. It could be one of the smaller mums at the top. I'm not sure you can see that. I'm trying to hold it so you can. We've got several of these that could decorate the top. My mother-in-law purchased this, which is beautiful. It is too big for this, but the leaves from this would look great. You can see that burlap wreath burlap leaf would look great on there. I have this. I think it's probably too big, but it could go on the top of this as well. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put that one on there. I kind of like that. The orange on orange. Now I'm going to go right here in this little crease between the actual slab of wood and the stem. And I'm going to put a generous amount there. I'll make sure it's centered. And you can choose to embellish yours however you choose. Gonna leave that on there for a moment. And there we go. We have two of them, a little bit different, actually very different when it comes to the color scheme. But I hope you will think about making these. Again, don't feel free not to purchase the slabs, but think about anyone who's tree trimming. Use your sander if you want to have the smooth finish that you see here, or sandpaper. Sand that down, paint it. These are going to be great for the holidays. I hope you enjoyed this craft. And thank you for watching. Keep crafting.